Hi, I'm disability lawyer David Brandon, founder here at Resolute Legal. In this video, I'm going to take you through a walkthrough of the Notice of Appeal form. This is the form that you need to complete and send in when you want to appeal your CPP disability denial to the Social Security Tribunal. So after watching this video, you're going to know exactly what this form is, how to fill it out, and the next steps you need to take. Now, if you like this video, hit that like button, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get our videos a few times a week, and leave some comments. We love to get those comments, and we're always looking out for them. So your CPP disability has been denied, your reconsideration has been denied, you've got the reconsideration denial letter, and it says on there, next step is to send in an appeal to the Social Security Tribunal. You may be wondering what's involved with that. Well, the way you start that process is by filing a Notice of Appeal form. You have to use the certain form that they have, and I'm going to go through the official version of it here. So let's go take a look at this form just so we can dispel some kind of myths. We'll have a link to the form in this video, but always check on our website to make sure you're getting the most recent copy of the form. We always have links to the most recent copies, but let's go take a look right now. Okay, here we go. This is the official form from the Social Security Tribunal for filing your Notice of Appeal. You can see it starts out with a little instructions from them, and it just says if you want to, it's exactly what we need to do. They want to receive this completed form within 30 days from the date you received your reconsideration decision. So that is not a lot of time, and you're going to want to get that in as soon as possible. They give you some general information. We're not going to go through all this, but you can read this through if you like. We'll have a link to this form down below, but let's go look at the actual form. So the actual form starts right here. You need to put in here whether you are an individual or an employer. They don't deal only with CPP disability, so this form is for other pension things as well. So you're always going to put an individual here, so you're going to click that. Now here you're going to put in you're the appellant, and since you're an individual, you're going to put your information here, and you're just going to put in here Luke Skywalker. Oh, that's wrong. So Luke Skywalker. I'm still pretty excited he was recently on The Mandalorian at the time of the shooting. So you're going to put in your number here. Okay. And again, this stuff over here, don't worry about your employer. That has nothing to do with what you're dealing with. Okay. Now, contact information, it's good to use an email with them. So now I don't know, who knows who that actually is, but we'll put Luke Skywalker at gmail.com. So you put your email there. That's very important to do. You give them permission to send to you. So here you're going to put in your address. So we're going to say oh boy, I'm going to spell that wrong. We'll just say, we'll say he moved to Indoor Apartment 2. Put in your phone number, other number, fax number. If you've got it, you probably don't have that. If you don't have a phone, click that. That does happen sometimes. So that means they'll put more emphasis on mailing things to you. All right, second part here. Hearing. What kind of hearing would you prefer? Now, ideally, you would consult if you're going to get a lawyer or other representative. You should consult them about how best to do your case, but 99% of the time, we're choosing this. We're telling our clients, just let's go with this. If you have the capability, now you may not have the capability. With our own clients, we will arrange to get you the capability if necessary. We basically just mail you an iPad that you can use as long as you can get a Wi-Fi. But if you can't get Wi-Fi, our second choice would be by phone. These video conference at Service Canada centers are not ideal. So you should try to avoid those if you can, but they're better than nothing, I guess. In person is usually the last thing we choose because of the difficulties with coordinating that kind of thing. We have found no difference. In fact, we have found a higher rate of approval doing phone hearings than in-person hearings, but I don't think that really means a whole lot. In-person hearings can be they can be good because you're there, they can see you, but it's close enough with these video conferences that I don't feel that it makes any difference. These cases are really won, in my opinion, based on the preparation leading up to the hearing, and very few cases are like the hearing made the final. If your hearing is the thing you need to finally put your case over the top, then you have not prepared it properly in most situations. You already want to go into that hearing with already putting forward like already kind of won the case in the mind of the judge. All right. The next thing, language. You can pick your language. The good thing about these Zoom conferences is they actually have, where did it go? Right here. These are done with Zoom. And what's good about that is they just have integrated translation. So I did a hearing, well, not recently, but several months back, I did a hearing with translating into Tamil, and it was pretty good, actually. So when I would speak and when the client would speak, they would translate it in my ear. It was actually pretty good. So you need an interpreter. They will get interpreters, and we've done hearings with interpreters. They're hard, but not impossible. So if you need an interpreter, don't be afraid about that. Accessibility, if you need any other alternate arrangements, they will let you know. This is more for physical things. If they need to make arrangement at the Service Canada Centre or wherever your in-person hearing will take place, they can't do a lot of accommodations if you don't have an internet and that kind of thing, right? Again, like I said, if you can't do, we've done many of these hearings by phone, and that works very well. I've had clients had to drive, they do the hearing in their car because they had to drive somewhere to get a good cell reception and be away from all the kids and everything else. So there's many ways you can do this. It's most important that you at a quiet place that you're going to be able to concentrate. What else do we have here? Reconsideration decision. Okay, you got to attach it, and that means you have to have a copy of it and attach it. And don't write up on it. Like, make sure you got a clean copy you're attaching. Don't attach the one where you've written up notes and circling things and exclamation points or any of that kind of stuff, okay? Send a clean copy. And you received it. Put in the date you received it, if you know the date, right? Be honest about this. Don't try to, you have to actually put the date you really believe that you received it. Now, sometimes people are late, and they'll try to say that they received it late, but don't try to get into that. Just put in the date that you received it. It's usually within like a week of the date on the letter. And the reason they want to know this is deadlines start running from the date on the letter. Okay, if you don't remember, then you can put this. In that case, they just will usually go by the date on the actual letter. Now, reasons for your appeal. Here's where people get kind of thrown off here. You do not, and I repeat, you do not have to put your whole case in here and give all the explanations and things like that. It's kind of written that way, but you really don't have to go into a huge detail here. It's just not practical. So what we write here is I checked with the other lawyers, and they're all using the same standard wording that I've used for years. So all we say here is that we disagree with the reconsideration decision, or I disagree with the reconsideration decision because I meet the requirements for CPP disability and that my disability is severe and prolonged, okay? And you will say then that we will be attaching further information and documents, we will be sending further information and documents to support this decision. And you could also say that there's additional information that was not considered by the reconsideration adjudicator. You could say any of this kind of stuff. The idea is that you disagree with the decision because you believe that you have a severe and prolonged disability, that you are going to send more, that there are important documents that the reconsideration person did not consider, that you're going to be providing those documents, in the coming weeks or months. And so they'll be part of the hearing file, that kind of thing. And that's it. That's all you have to put here. Documents to support your appeal. Again, what I find is people procrastinate sending this document in because they think they have to have everything attached to this thing. You do not. You do not. Oftentimes we're putting no here. Almost all the time when we're submitting these for clients, we're saying no. And because we've mentioned up above saying that we're in the process of collecting documents and we'll send those in the coming weeks and months is what we say. So it's not a big deal if you don't, people think they're worried that they got to get all this stuff and send it in. No, you do not have to do that. You should just send this thing in and let them know that more documents are going to come. It's more important to get this in on time than to wait and, get this in late because you're trying to get all this information. Better to get this thing in. Once you get this in, you have up to a year to get all your documents in. Okay. Now, if you're late, if you're over 30 days in applying or appealing, then you need to explain why they should accept your late appeal. And they'll look at reasons. Now, if you are late, do not try to do this on your own. Go get help. Honestly, like the law around what it takes for them to grant an exception for a late application is very technical. And while they have listed some of the things here, we find that you are probably, most people we've dealt with, we're not going to do a good enough job in explaining why it's late. And this is where a lawyer will be able to help. It's important, why you'd want to make sure this gets through is, let's just say that they do not accept your reasons for being late. Well, all is not lost because you technically can start over. You're going to miss a lot of payments, right? They're going to start over, and now your back pay will start from the date of your new application. So you could miss out on like a year's worth of payments. We're talking over $10,000 or more. You could lose out on because you did not pass the test here to get a late application. So if you're dealing with a late application, get help. Representative information. If you don't have a representative, that's fine. If you do, you would indicate who it is, and you would give the name of your representative here. Often we're filling out this ourselves when we fill it out for clients. So you would put the email address for your representative here and give the information about the representative. And then at the end, you have to do a declaration. And so you're declaring this is all correct. You're going to sign it here with an actual signature and the year, date, and month. Again, this can all be done electronically. So we often get this, when we do this, we get the client to sign it electronically. You have to be the one signing it though, not the representative. And then you can send it in. This is the email where you can send this thing in. You can fax it, which I don't suggest. And you can mail it either through regular mail or through Canada Post Express Post usually will work. You can do that as well. And that's it. So here they give you some tips here at the bottom, which are important. Again, they emphasize email. I can't stress how important it is to use email if you can. But again, you need to be able to get electronic copies of documents if you're going to use it. But you can use this form that I'm using right now, and it would allow you to sign it. If you go here, I think it allows, so it allows a digital signature. So you could, as long as you have the free version of Adobe Acrobat on your computer, or on the computer you're using, you'd be able to sign this. So you could do it completely electronically, and then you'd just be able to email it into them. You don't have to sign it with an ink pen, okay? They are the Social Security Tribunal is part of the 21st century. Like, they will accept digital signatures, which is great. So other things that they say, send us one form for each decision you want to appeal. Now, sometimes people have multiple decisions, but very rare. You're just going to have the one decision from the reconsideration that you want to appeal. You got to have all your contact information in there to let them know if it changes. Keep all documents they send you. They're numbered. Yeah, they're just saying you got to keep these documents, like hearing file. They're not calling it the hearing file, but that's what it is. You have to keep it. You got to tell them there's changes in representatives, and everything you send must be in English or French. So they must have issues with people sending in other documents. So there you have it. That is a summary of the form and what you should expect when filling out this form, and some tips to get this thing in. If I can tell you anything at all, number one, consider getting a legal consultation before sending this thing in, especially if you feel like you've missed the deadline to appeal and that kind of thing. Number two, though, if you're going to do this yourself, do not procrastinate on sending it in. Do not think that you have to have everything figured out and all the documents to send this thing in. You do not. You just need to put in the section where you can put your comments that more documents will follow. You disagree with the decision. You're gathering more things. You'll send it all in the coming months. You have up to a year to send all this stuff in, okay? So don't try to do everything. You don't have to prove your whole thing with this document. Just get this thing in. I can't stress that enough. Fill it out completely. Get all your address in there and get it in before the deadline. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit that bell notification. If you have any comments, put them below. Love to hear from you. We'll see you next time.